Did you know the average bee only produces around 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in its lifetime? I'm here today with Steve Goldsworthy from Beechworth Honey. So Beechworth Honey, Steve, you guys have been around for a few years, I hear.
Yeah, we have been here for a while. It all started with my wife's great-grandfather. He came to Beechworth looking for gold, probably struggled a bit like a lot of them, and he decided to go beekeeping. So we go back to the 1880s.
Wow.
The knowledge has been passed on to her family all along the track, and I got involved about 20 years ago. Bit of smoke helps to calm the savage beast. Let's go in there and see what we can find.
Wow.
Ah, look at that. Magnificent. This is the engine room of the hive, down here in the bottom. Oops, first bee sting for the day.
So how many bees are going to be hanging out in one hive?
Oh, in one hive, you'll find up to about 30,000 bees.
Right.
So this is what we call the bottom box. And this is where all the breeding goes on. So here we've got brood. This is where the baby bees are going to hatch out. They start off as an egg, they turn into a larvae, they're capped over, and they will develop into a bee.
Why are they making the honey?
For a hive to live, they've got to have a food source as well. So they actually make honey for them to eat later on, not for us.
Yeah.
But they make so much of it, there's always a little bit for us to gather up as well. So let's hop up and have a look what they've given us. Now, this is what we get to take home. Have a look at that.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful. Just pristine honey.
What's the process from here?
From here, all we've got to do is get rid of all the bees. So we put an empty box on the hive, sit the top one back on there with the escape board, all the bees exit, and we get to take this home. Now, once we get it home, we shear this wax off, and that opens all the cells up. So from there, it goes into what we call an extractor. So it's centrifugal force. It spins around and all the honey flies out. Stainless steel tank, it settles down, and there it is, pure honey.
So Steve, tell me, how do the different plants and flowers affect the flavour of the particular honey?
The way a bee actually makes the honey, they gather nectar from the plants. So you've got the flower, the bee comes in and gathers the nectar, and that's where the individual flavours come from. So whether it's the red box tree or the stringy bark tree, or it could be something like capeweed, it could be any flower. Now, there's over 700 different eucalypt trees in Australia. So if they yield nectar and the bee can collect that nectar, you will get a different flavour. So one iconic tree is our red stringy bark. The honey that comes from it is a stronger, darker flavoured honey.
Right.
Doesn't suit everyone's taste, but it's a very unique sort of honey. So I don't know if you get the taste sort of bites. It's a stronger tasting honey.
Yeah, it's kind of like a slightly intense kind of caramel.
Exactly, that's it. Yep, so you've nailed that one. And then you drop down to a hill gum.
The hill gum. And how would you describe this one? This is...
A sweeter, milder flavoured
Okay,
honey.
so I'll probably start here, move on to this guy.
Well, it doesn't matter which way you go, but can you pick that at all? Yep.
It's a lot thicker as well.
Yes,
it's a lot thicker,
the honeys can
kind of
be...
stickier.
It depends on the time of year that they produce, I guess. But Australian honey is usually around 16% moisture.
Right.
And if you've got honey that was, say, 19%, it's almost like water. You think, oh, 3%, how can there be any different? But you can really notice the difference.
And this guy here, so that's the orange blossom?
Something totally different comes from your orange orchards. Now, there's no orange orchards around here. You've got to go to Sunraysia, places, Mildura, Griffith, somewhere like that. But once again, a very different flavour. Just taste it and you'll really pick up.
So you have to take these bees.
So we pick them up. Yep, that's exactly it. Yep, put them on a truck and away we go.
Okay.
Now you'll see that is a very different honey again, and you've got the real citrus taste.
Right. Oh,
it's there.
That's beautiful.
It's there, isn't it?
That's beautiful.
Yep.
So the Beechworth honey, available Australia-wide?
You can get it overseas and Australia-wide, and I'm lucky enough that bees have been my life for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And this is my office out here,
Yeah.
so where else would you want to be?